All right, so let's go like, welcome to the Watermelon versus Pumpkin Godcast, Squadcast, Blogcast, Vlogcast. Who knows? Who cares, man? We're here. We got zucchinis. Fucking Zook, dude.
Look at this motherfucker. I don't know if this is a zucchini or a toy for me and my lady. That's just wrong.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a zucchini, guys, and it's gonna be. We're gonna make this just at the beginning of the squad cast. We're just gonna dive in and I just want to show off this beautiful thing that came from my lovely aunt's garden. Okay, she grew the steroid infested thing. We're gonna slice it, scoop it, chop that, boat it. Slice it, scoop it, chop that, and then we're gonna boat this. Now the chopped pieces are gonna be mixed with a nice little ground meat in there. We're gonna have some nice tomatoes in there, some onions, some garlic, we get that. And then what's scooped here will be your boat, where you place in there and you bake. Put a little cheese if you can do it. If you can't do it, then you don't need it because it's already flavorful, nigga. Just zucchini boat. Maybe I'll give you niggas a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.
Zucchini boat, nigga. Yeah,
food for the youth. So we're back for another week. The world is still crazy. I'm going through the crisis of, do we just talk about this shit? Because I can't even fucking keep up with it. Like, I envy and I want to become a person, even though I don't think it's like maybe morally responsible. I want to be the guy that just always constantly goes, oh shit, really? I didn't know. Like, I feel like I pay attention to too much shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You want to have that element of wonder. Like it used to be pre-internet, you know, like when a nigga, you just found out shit when you was around somebody or you read it in a newspaper or on TV.
You know what's weird with living in multiple eras of communication? Before the internet and before everything, like when I was growing up, I went to concerts all the fucking time, all throughout high school, all throughout everything. And I'm trying to think, like, how the fuck did we know concerts were happening? Like, it's a black spot in my head of like, I don't remember.
Man. They were fucking blasting it on like radios and radio station, more radio stations, TV. You know what I mean? It was that was it, man. The advertisement companies were big, you know?
Yeah.
Now it's like the ad guys are like, if you're good at fucking, you know how to set shit up on a computer.
Yep.
You know how to create an ad. You know, if you can create an ad, then you're good for those jobs. Because now there's not like a whole, back then they had a team of people. You know what I mean? Like, fucking boxes and boxes for like vans full of shit. Like, all right, get these guys out there and deliver these flyers. Every fucking, like when flyers were a thing, you come to your car, there's fucking flyers. We didn't put flyers everywhere. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? I got some floating around somewhere as some safe keeps that memorabilia shit.
Oh, but when I went to the Up in Smoke concert, I took a Warren G poster. I'll tell you that.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, you get those things, but the flyer days, man, it was like that. Billboards, I think it was more. We're from the anticipation era, you know what I'm saying, where things were built up. We were anticipated, like, yeah, shit, yo, 3 weeks they coming, 2 months they come, you know what I mean? It's like now, just like now, it's not really a bigger thrill. The biggest thrill now is when it's a sporadic, like, oh shit.
Yep.
It came out of nowhere. That's dope,
Yeah. No, it's just a weird thing to like I said, I don't remember any of it. Like, I don't remember seeing a flyer and be like, oh shit, I gotta go to that. Like, but it had to be how it was because there wasn't the internet. So
and we were like word of mouth era too, where it's like if like one person said it and you might not have trusted that motherfucker word, like, yeah, he be lying and shit all the time. I don't know. He don't really be telling the truth. And then you got to get a couple more. Oh, it is true. Okay, everybody talking about it. And then you get a real good one where everybody talks about it and it's not even true. Those are good too. That's when you got a real good juicy one,
It's like, it's good.
Right? It's like, yo, I had the whole school believe in me. That shit wasn't true. Like, that was your fame, man. What happened in school or in your neighborhood. Now it's like you get fans only pages. I don't know.
That's how it is on the internet now, though. Same shit. It's like, if a certain person says it, you'll believe it. You know what I mean? No matter what it is, it's out there. Like, I was at the gym today. I was on the elliptical and I'm seeing the guy because there's, down south, there's a hurricane happening. And he's out there. And I'm like, how the fuck does his job still exist? Like, everybody's seen the news footage of the guy holding on to the stop sign. Hey guys,
Right.
we're out here and it's right. Like,
I'm in the eye of the storm.
What are you doing? But I'm like, right now in 2020, what the fuck are you doing? Like, that's a position where we go, we believe you. You don't need to fucking do that. Like,
hey, they got like, we easily have these drones, if not little robots, we can send out there right now.
Yeah. Or I'm sure there's plenty of just stationary cameras, you know what I mean? That
from a safe distance that could zoom in on a fucking penny from 400 yards away. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, technology has grown to that point. I'm probably exaggerating a little bit, but you know, we're growing to that point of like, shit, they got satellites that fucking zoom in on shit.
Yeah. It was just weird to me, like how we've watched other documentaries and talking about propaganda and stuff. It just felt like too much. You know what I mean? It felt like, what are you doing? That's the only way I can explain it. Like, why are you standing out there with the microphone doing the like, all right, guys, and I'll tell you, it's like, what are you doing?
It's
why
like,
is that still a thing that happens?
I don't know. It's like you're telling the world to be safe while you're totally not being safe. It's like the biggest contradictory person. Like, stay indoors, guys. It's not safe out here. What the fuck are you doing out there then?
And he was not wearing a mask. I'll tell you that. He did not have a mask on.
Oh, so, you got to get the flair for dramatics with the wind and the fucking rain whipping in the mouth. You know, can't do that with a mask.
But like, even at another level, like, you could even do that from your news van. Like, but you don't have to get outside of the van. It's just, I don't know. It just fucked with me today. Like, it just hit a certain, like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's certain things that are still existence that, you know, like, well, that's things that'll never die, like prostitution and people, garbage men. I don't know if that's ever gonna die. Yeah, I mean, even though some of it might, because
I don't go.
There are a lot of towns that just have the garbage truck that they just pull up alongside, and you're supposed to have your garbage bins. You know, the nicer upper scale neighborhoods have these nice things where the truck just comes by and just pulls out these little tongue things that come out, scoop, dumps it. Nobody touches anything. It's like you know, the only guy getting paid is the driver.
And eventually that will be automatic. You know what I'm saying? Eventually it will be
self-driving
square outside your house that you place your box in, and they pick up the box and they slam it back down.
It's going to be such a fucking lonely time as old people when we got to jump in a fucking cab with no driver and you're a fucking old person wanting to talk to somebody. You know, the old timer wants to shoot it. And I already know I'm going to be that one. You know, if I get to that point, you know, I'll probably be the fucking, hey, I just want to talk to somebody and fucking tell you about some pastry.
I can see it.
You know what I mean? But now I envision myself jumping in a cab with just nothing but auto voice. Your destination is 74 First Avenue. Please enjoy. Pick your music. And you just play light jazz, play 1980s classics, you know. Playing 80s classics. And, you know, it's just a bunch of driving cars with passengers. There it is. I see it, though.
No, man, I could definitely see it happen. And we're scaling up to it eventually because...
Oh, yeah. Everything. Self-checkout lines in grocery stores.
I feel like we're all prepared with this quarantine of... Hey, things are changing. You know what I mean? Tupac said it, but things are changing. And I think, say there's bad people, because we know the bad people exist. I think if they study what happened here, I think all they could say is like, we can control them pretty easily. You know what I mean? Because we went crazy. And then when you give the power back, that's what we got to see, because that's going to be the toughest part. So I think if they're the bad people that exist in the clouds and are looking down upon all of us, I think they're smiling right now on some like, oh, this is gonna be easy, you know, like to like, bro, this have you had experiences with this coin shortage deal and the nobody?
I'm hearing about yes. What is that? I seen it in one store, a dollar store, but then I'm hearing it's all over.
It's all over where. An idea that I had way back in the day, and I'm not the first, second, or third person to think of this, but I was like, why don't they just make everything come out to an even amount? You know, like just make everything come out to an even amount. And now at the dollar store, that's what it is. If you buy 3 things, it's $3 because nobody's giving change back. Nobody's doing anything. But
no coins is what it is.
It's
or like
both in different
or
places.
singles.
Everybody's
Right.
experienced a little bit right now to where
Right,
it's,
because
some
that's funny.
places are.
Well, my one and only experience was at the dollar store, and I was with my daughter. Now I was
Yep.
getting something, and she had her own money, and she wanted to spend her little money. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, well, find something. She had a $10 bill, and she bought something for $6.
Nice.
So it came out to $6.36 or whatever. So, and then I'm looking at the sign. I'm sitting there like, is it just like change? I said, if it's just change, just give us the singles. I'm whatever, keep the change. I don't know. I'm not. And so no, and then she did it for her anyway. So she gave her the $3 with like a hair. Like, all right, what the hell's going on? It's like she really didn't want to let go, but she was trying to be nice because it's a little kid.
No, it's the different places have changed, and different, like at the weed shop, they would give back dollar bills but no change, and at the dollar store it was no change at all. You have to pay an exact, or if you pay over, we just keep it, which is fucking, that's weird.
Wow.
Like we give back no change, so please don't pay in cash, and if you do,
right, because if it
again,
comes out to
back no change,
right, so if it comes out to $7.06 and you give me $8.
Sorry.
Right. Or you're going to take you should be taking the 6-cent hit if you ask me, but
Yeah. So I think to like quell it getting out of control, that's what I think they're doing now, where everything equals an exact amount. Like they're not doing but I mean, well, like you said, you had an experience where it was different, so they're probably not all the way there
so
yet.
1901, you give a $20 bill, you're not getting $1 back.
And with everything has peaked in this fucking everybody's attitude, and their wick is getting lower during this shit. That's just asking for, like, we didn't need this right now too, you know what I mean? Like, you didn't have to add this part on now,
right? And what is that though? I mean can't they just go hit up the Federal Reserve and tell them to make it happen? Are we fucked up?
Real.
I mean we learned about them niggas now, so I feel like I kind of know them a little more.
Well,
maybe they're upset about like, I ain't paying this back quick enough.
I just want an explanation of how. Oh, there's a national coin shortage, blah, blah, blah. How? Nobody's spent, like, if you're going to talk during the quarantine, nobody was spending money, and also nobody was giving back money. So the money should have stayed where it was. How was there a national coin shortage, But I think people just don't even look at it.
So that'd be interesting. I wonder, because I got a basement full of, I got at least 15 bags of cans or bottles down there for, I return my shits, you know what I'm saying? But I wonder if they're like fucking not doing that. They're like, no,
wow,
can't even do that right now. I didn't even think of that. Right? There's some people like just that, live and rely on that shit. I see these guys all the time with big fucking bags, trying to get right.
Are these the homeless gentlemen you speak of? I believe I've heard of them. I believe, yes.
Well, no, if you got to speak in that voice, then they would call them vagrants.
Right. These rascals. Scallywags.
When I first heard that word, I'm like, are there a couple of vagrants out there? I'm thinking like, what this nigga talking about, a band and shit?
Right.
Vagrants. Is that like a type of people? What are we talking about? Are they like French? What are they, Russian?
Right. Who we vagrant?
Right. Oh, the vagrants. The homeless. Oh, homeless.
With a whisper.
Are we talking about?
The homeless. Okay.
I'm like, what? Oh, you mean that nigga sleeping under the bridge?
For real.
That's T.Y. Hey, all right, man. He's just trying to get right in life.
That's another situation that's going to be going out of control because nobody is
Hey, there's
shopping.
a choice. I know. You got some change, nigga. You ain't heard. There's a change shortage.
Change don't exist no more, man.
Yo, niggas gonna start upgrading because some got phones and shit. Some of the panhandler niggas got phones. He gonna put the square on the top of shit. Yo, just swipe. Yo, give me a half a swipe. Give me a half a. Yo, just swipe me down, cuz help me out.
And those people will feel bad, and some people will do it. All right, fine, man, cool. All right, fine. Just don't hurt me.
All right, all right. You're not gonna steal my information, right? Okay.
Right.
Oh man, but now everything is like touch now and shit. Like I haven't used that feature, but I know my lady uses it a lot with her bank, where she loads the bank on her. It's from an app to her phone.
Okay.
So all she, like, if it accepts and it has like the Google Pay or one of those is like Google Pay, you just tap the phone. You put the phone there and ding, and it fucking scans your card that's in your phone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got a replacement card because I had, whatever, cards are only good for like 3 years, then they expire and they send you a new one. The new one that they sent me, yeah, it has the little, it almost looks like a little Wi-Fi signal, right, on it. And you can actually take the physical card and tap it up. Like I did it at work with one of the drink machine. You know what I'm saying? Like you touch it instead of the swipe and it works. And I don't understand anything anymore. And I feel old as fuck.
I know, it's just a boop and you're good to go. I'm like, I mean, I feel like I should just upgrade to that because that's one thing, but you know, people always got on them more than their fucking wallets is their phone. You know what I mean? Somebody leave, you know, a female will leave her purse laying over there in a minute. You know what I mean? But you know, gonna take a shit with that phone. You know what I mean? Exactly. You know, I think about that, man, too. It's like, man, damn, pre-phones, man. We, you know, here we go back to shit talk. But you know, we took shits without anything in there. You know what I mean?
We were reading everything in there. I know that
magazines, I guess.
I know what's in. Oh, and then you think about nowadays how we think about germs. Think about germs nowadays. Funny because now we pay attention to germs. You know what I'm saying?
Wiping your ass and grabbing that magazine and putting it back.
Yep. Because you know, finishing that article and then just wiping with one hand and then finishing that article. Like, come on, man.
Oh shit! And then putting it right back, and again, just with your foot.
But that's what I'm saying. Where I almost wish I just didn't pay attention to anything, because you got to think about that's the whole ignorance is bliss shit.
Right.
Listen, germs have existed the whole time. We only just started paying attention to germs. But it's like you wish that, like I remember
took a pandemic, nigga.
I remember one of the true down to the core things I've ever been told. DJ Q back in the day when I was living up there, I was gonna take acid for the first time, and he was like, yo, you're gonna notice how dirty everything is. And I remember I was sitting on the toilet. I don't remember what I was doing, but I remember it happened. It just went like, swoof. You notice how dirty everything is. And it was just one of those things that hit me of like, holy shit, now I notice this for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? Like once you get past that point, there's no coming back. And that's what it is with the germs nowadays. It's just like, oh my God, we realize that. Oh my God, we realize there are germs everywhere.
Right. But they're so crazy because, you know, the further back you go, the further people didn't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? Yep. You know what I mean? It's like guys fucking went and fucking fed the pigs and shit and down there, and, you know, pick up the horse shit in the back, and then they come right in and kiss their wife and hug their kids and, you know, and just threw water on their shit. You know, they didn't have antibacterial soap. They just threw water on their shit, man. And fucking,
I think,
all right, we're good here.
I think we got to find that happy medium and live by that happy medium of some germs are obviously good, and you want to build up your immune system, and like you want to be exposed to certain shit,
right?
And like your kid shouldn't, and like I don't know why I said your kid, and I wasn't even talking about your kid, but the kids out there, and not even just the kids, everybody. We're not supposed to be slathering ourselves down in the fucking, you know, germ killing shit that kills everything, because some bacteria is good. We need to fight.
You need some. And that's what's crazy. You know, that's funny you say that, because thinking about this whole pandemic thing, man, is there are people that probably, you know, have anxiety and craziness over that and are like spilling it all over their fucking kids if they have, especially if they have little ones. You know what I mean? And it's like they're fucking scrubbing the hell out of little Johnny's got red knuckles and shit. Like, Mom, just stop. You know what I mean? She's fucking.
Think about the fucking pimp slap with the fucking with the Purell pimp slap. Think about that. Just bow.
Yeah. Oh, just the iceberg slap on them.
You know, someone has tried to use it for lube, whether solo or with somebody else. You know that's happened.
Yeah.
They say alcoholics will take it and take it down.
They do. They fucking they would break into the fucking porta johns and fucking squirt it up, sip it up, breath smell like rubbing alcohol and shit. Niggas do it with mouthwash. You know, that's when it's real bad, man.
Yeah. That's what when you're drinking rubbing alcohol, like, oh.
Yeah, you're at that point in life, man.
Yeah.
That's, you know, I mean, my uncle was there before. He was like fucking cough medicine. You're in that same realm. Rubbing alcohol, cough medicine, mouthwash, anything with alcohol in it. That's when it's like, woof, you know what I mean? It's them niggas used to line up at a dollar store I used to work at back in the day. We had to limit them to two because they would line up on Sunday because then the package stores were open back then on Sunday. And they would
Oh.
fucking line up. They would have they'd all chip in and try to come and buy the whole fucking shelf out of the $2 mouthwash. It's a big ass bottle of the dollar store joint for $2.
Yep.
They chip in fucking, $12, $15. They're trying to come in and
Yeah,
buy,
they're hanging out.
right. And then they're going to sit out front and they're going to start fucking
Dude,
fresh
that's gonna
milk.
just
It tears the
rip through
lining.
your stomach. Yeah,
It
yeah,
tears the
yeah.
lining in their throat. There was like this whole thing on it. Like a lot of those guys, the ones that do it longer, they end up talking like that.
Yeah,
Because
like Jadakiss.
Right. Jada was swallowing mouthwash as a kid. That what happened, nigga?
That's the noise he made every time he did. That's too much.
Now I'm stuck like this, Daddy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But him and Doc Rivers. You ever hear Doc Rivers, the coach, speaking of basketball?
Oh my God.
Why? What are we gonna do? How do they hear him when he's yelling?
Yeah.
Linda. What? What does he say? I think he's saying Linda. Run, Linda.
Come on. I don't even know why he does interviews. You know what I mean? Like, because I was watching the game last night and they came up to him afterwards, no, excuse me. It wasn't even afterwards. It was like during the start of the fourth quarter. The start of the fourth quarter.
Right. Yeah, they start the fourth quarter and then they show a clip of them talking to him during the break.
And all he wants to do is not talk to this lady. Right. Because all they ask is, how are you going to win? And what are you going to do? Tell them like, wait, this is going to be our game plan. Like, you're not going to say it out loud. It's like, so they need to figure out a fancy way to say, we're going to put the bucket, we're going to put the ball in the bucket more times than they are. Thank you. Goodbye. You know what I mean?
Right,
like, that's all you need. Is like, we're going to go and try to win.
They just got to stick to the regular format. We just got to get out there, play harder. We got to grab more boards. We got to shoot more.
Hustle,
you know what I mean?
hustle.
We got to hustle harder. We got to grab more rebounds. We got to score more points. It's like, oh, thanks, coach. Good luck. And it's like, the nigga just told you how to play basketball. Walked away.
We're gonna have to get this in there more than they do, and that's pretty much it.
It's kind of the concept of the game. We got to do the concept of the game because this is how the game is played. Score more points to them. Thank you. Have a good day. Yeah. All right. Good luck, coach. What the fuck was that?
Yo, you know the rules of the game, right? Cool. Yeah. We need to follow those better than they do. That's pretty much it.
And I love it. Shout out to the Clippers getting bumped off last night. They were like hands down supposed to be the favorite going all the way this year. People been dying for the LA versus LA matchup because that was the biggest talk. There was a big controversy behind that because LeBron James was trying to recruit, as he does, Kawhi, free agent status, to come on to LA. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah. Oh,
that's
yeah. He was trying. Cool. He was trying to get Kawhi, but Kawhi's not. He's not that guy. He said, he's like, Kawhi is more like, he's more of a quiet dude. You're refined, kind of laid back. You don't really, talk too much. But what they're saying is he was more like, no. I don't want to play with you. I want to play against you. You know what I mean? He like, I want that competitive edge. Like, I want to play against the best. You're the best. I don't want to play with you. Right. He already got some. He already got 2 Finals MVPs. You know what I mean? Yep. When he was with Toronto's, and then when he was with San Antonio. You know what I mean? So he already got 2 rings. And
no disrespect to him because he's one of the best basketball players of all time, but Kawhi's probably not looking and going becoming a Scottie Pippen. No, right. Like, Kawhi's the man where he is. He's not trying to go to Lakers and become,
he's got Paul George over there, which is another all-star, but he's not as big as Kawhi, in my opinion. Kawhi, and actually, they both played terrible. Combined last night, they went fucking, I think 13 for 40 or something? Yeah, I was going to say. 10 for 40, some shit like that. Because I know
Kawhi only hit 4. Because Kawhi was like 4 for 22. It was ridiculous.
Like, they were terrible. And every time I was watching them, like in the last quarter, fucking when they were trying to come back in the fourth, and fucking Paul George was just this motherfucker was hitting the side of the backboard like he never played basketball before. It was crazy. It was like, what? And it's like some guys just like, this is why you can't get to the next level. You shrink. Like they play lights out ball.
Like, bro, when Westbrook in the last series. Motherfucker was missing layup after layup after, like, ruining everything.
He gets too aggressive. He gets in there, and he just always he can't help it. He can't help it not to turn off that switch of not trying to be the guy. You know what I mean? It's like that's why Kevin Durant left a big part of it. You know what I mean? It was like, nah, I can't play with this dude. You know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean? Like, basically, nigga, I'm the one. Give me the ball. Let me shoot. You know what I'm saying? You do point guard things, but his point guard things, he not gonna look for the open man. He coming to the rack aggressively, crazy. His game is crazy now. He get points, but he sometimes gets erratic and fucking he gets real loose with it. You know what I'm saying? It's not controlled aggression. You know what I mean? He kind of gets fucking A-wire a little bit. Like, yo, nigga, come on, man, focus on the game. You out here acting wild and shit, trying to fight Rondo's brother. That was Rondo's brother he was talking to.
Yeah.
Like,
He tried to get him kicked out, and I think he did get him kicked out. But
yeah, he got him kicked out that game and shit. But you know, the Clippers went down. The Nuggets is a team that the Lakers better be watch out for, because that dude, man, if you got a chance to see Jokic,
the big
bro,
guy, 15, number 15, I think.
yeah, the big guy. He's from like he's Croatian or something. He's you know, he talks really good English. You see his interview. He's got a thick accent. You know, it's funny because they were interviewing both him and Jamal Murray, who's the other young kid. He's like second year in, but he's fucking, you know, lights out ball. That kid,
Yeah, he had
40 points up.
40. Yeah, 40. Last
Yeah.
night.
Oh yeah. So now they're giving a post game interview, and the guy with the rougher English and fucking chopped up accent, he's answering all the questions, and they're like, yeah, they're like, well, you know, you got to play better basketball, and you know, and then he looks at Jamal. He's like, that she's asking, and she's still asking, and he's still talking. Then he looks at Jamal. He goes, "Oh, you want to say something, or is this going to be on right in the
That's
interview?"
funny.
You know, Bob is like, yeah, the foreign guy's like, hey, bro, I'm fucking struggling with my English words. You want to talk or what?
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? But he's got such an awkward game, but he don't miss, man.
Yeah, he has a weird ass game.
His shot is very high and awkward and weird looking, but he fucking nails it. And he's inside, outside, and he's fucking the best like big man passer. The fucking guy can whip that shit, man. Like for 7 feet, he's like fucking a globetrotter. Yep. You know what I'm saying? He's a different breed, man. But the Lakers got Anthony Davis is similar. So I think they're gonna really, you know what I mean? And I think that's gonna be a good matchup.
They're gonna go at it, yeah.
Right. I don't think they have an answer for LeBron though over there.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough.
He's a steamboat, man. He comes when he starts coming to the rack, man. You're not really stopping that. Like that guy Giannis, man. You ever watch Giannis? Like why he won MVP last year? He probably won it this year too. He's like unstoppable, bro.
Yeah,
it's like because he's 7. I forget he's 7 feet, but he's like probably the most athletic 7-footer because he's jacked. You know what I mean?
Kevin Durant, I didn't even know he was a 7-footer. That's crazy.
Yeah, Kevin Durant is like 6'10", 6'11". Yep. You know what I mean? He's considered a hybrid, really big man that can play inside, outside. But see how skinny that motherfucker is. But you look at Giannis. Giannis is a fucking. He's like a Greek sculpture, man. That's what the fuck. The black Greek sculpture is like. Yeah, just give the ball. Like, go to this. He like fucking. He's like he stops. He picks up his dribble right past the 3-point line, and he fucking two steps and he's right at the fucking rim, bro, dunking it. He's got that big of a fucking stride, and he does that shit they do now. Have you ever heard the Euro step? Yeah, they're fucking. You know, which is you need a lot of balance and strength on both legs to kind of do that, man. You know, because your momentum's going this way. Now you're taking it, and then you're switching your momentum mid stride and going the other way. Like that seems like it's pop joints to me. I don't know.
It's a weird like mix between a travel and a carry, and like you don't know what the fuck is going on.
Right, because that kid Luka Doncic from the Mavericks, he's another European boy, shoots the lights out. But he has another weird where he's like not really diesel strong or nothing, but he knows how to get to the basket. He knows how to get boards. The guy gets triple doubles. He's always around. And when he picks up the ball, when he takes his 2-step, he does this weird shit where he takes his first step, and the second one it almost like drags. You know what I mean? And I don't know. It's almost like, is that I'm in my head. I'm like, is that kind of a travel though? Or you know what I mean? Is he like dragging it, or that's just like a lazy foot? You know, watch some of his shit, man. He does a weird thing, you know. But
I think it depends on the refs too. Like some refs are, because even what I've been noticing in like the last 2 minutes of the games, they kind of been letting them go a little bit. Like they've been letting them play because it's like
be a real foul
from like the last 10 minutes to 2 minutes, they call everything. But then like the last 2, it seems like they've been letting them play a little.
Yeah, nah. They fucking demolished those guys last night. Like, and what's crazy, they're the only team in NBA history, give it up for the Denver Nuggets, to be down twice in the playoffs, down 3-1, and came back and won both.
Yeah.
Hello. Happened in the first round of Utah, and it happened in this round. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, the Nuggets not fucking around. They're not fucking around. So the Lakers better come with their best, because them young boys right there are ready. And then on the other side of things, it's between Boston Celtics and Miami Heat. I watched some of that. Jimmy Butler I like him, man. He's a beast in Miami. Yep. I like Jimmy Butler. You know, his hair is one thing, but the nigga's skills is, you know what I
mean? I'm down for either one of those teams. I'm not mad at either one of those because it'd be cool to get a classic Boston versus LA.
Yeah,
but then yo, if Miami plays and beats LeBron James, that's also some weird comeback,
Right. Remember us?
There's somebody in the Miami organization.
Oh,
like,
the
I
coach.
told y'all motherfuckers we'd be back. You know what I
the
mean?
coach. The coach is still the coach that was there, Spoelstra.
Oh, shit.
That's still the head coach that was when LeBron was there. Old Spoelstra.
Wow.
So for
That's
him to fucking look over at him, that'd be great. Like, hey, what's up, Bronny? It's me.
That's some like when G.I. Joe would go into the bad guy's lair and the dude would just be there with like a cape blowing in the wind of like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, you thought? Nah, we still here, dog.
We're still
like,
here. You thought it was over with? You better test again.
Yep.
Yes, again.
Don't call it a comeback.
Yeah, but
That's
you know
crazy.
why I like Boston a little more. Maybe, I gotta go with UConn Pride, man. That's Kemba Walker, man. I fuck with Kemba. When he had that phenomenal run and won us a championship and shit, like, I fuck with Kemba.
Respect, dude.
Yeah, and I like that dude Tatum they got, man. He balls, man. Jason Tatum, I think his name is.
I haven't seen much of them, so I'm looking forward to checking them out in this series.
Look, they're like Kemba Walker, and you got Jason Tatum, and the other kid, Jaylen Brown. Those are like their three. Jaylen Brown and Tatum get busy,
Nice.
Kemba do what he do. But I like Jimmy Butler though, man, and they got that kid Bam. His name is Bam Adebayo. Being scrappers, man. They're all fucking scrappers. So this is gonna be one for the books, man. What I'm interested in knowing, I don't know. Normally, the regular season basketball starts in November.
Yeah.
Are they not doing that? Like, these guys are just gonna have a short turnaround.
I know, because at some point, if we're gonna get back to it, we got to get back to it, or we then just go back to regular season starting whenever the fuck they're going to start the next one. Yeah, I don't know.
Right. I know. It's like, so you're not going to bubble every team. You know what I mean? You're not going to bubble every team to start the season. So it's going to be like the season probably, it's got to be pushed back. I don't even know for offhand, but it probably already pushed back. You know what I mean? It's probably a schedule that's out. That's like in the air schedule. Like, well, if things go right, this is what we project. But it's like, the season just ended now. And October is going to be over with, right at the end of September. Next couple weeks will be the last one, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A couple weeks, yeah. So we'll be in October when this shit is done. So are they going to be ready to come back in November and start a whole season? They're looking at it like, well, they had that whole time off for the quarantine, for the whole, COVID pandemic that they were supposed to be playing. They had that from March all the way to August. So that's a lot of time right there.
If they did it, if they came back quick, I bet you it'll be a situation where like, LeBron's not running it back immediately. Like, I'm sure he would just play 10 minutes a game for fucking whatever. Because, the first 20 games, they don't mean that much. Like, you want to get off to a good start, but there's got to be a point where like, all right, later in the season, all right, we got to start picking up some wins or something like that. Like, when the games really matter. I can see him giving it to the new guys for a while.
Right. Yeah. Because he's always he can catch up. That's,
Yeah.
But
I don't mean just him. I mean, like, around the league, I'm sure you got a lot of people like, we just went way into the fucking. But then there's people that have been sitting home for how long?
Since March. Right. The guys that didn't make it. It's like, we've been. And it's crazy because when this whole bubble thing popped back up and these playoff teams went in there, you could see a lot of the guys who didn't really stay in shape. You figure they weren't playing basketball from March all the way to fucking August. You know what I'm saying?
And they're rich. You know what I mean? So like, yeah. Oh, damn, I don't have to work this year? I'm going in,
Right. 5 months of not working. And then, the guys who had an advantage were the guys who had home gyms. So that's where that status came in. The rookie and a 1 year, 2 year guy who ain't got shit. He was in a fucking shitty ass apartment somewhere with family or something because he didn't get
roommates still.
Right. He's not even getting his fucking paycheck. So you know what I'm saying? I know what you call it was like that. Pat Mahomes. Shout out to Pat Mahomes, Kansas City Chief, new legend, Super Bowl. Well, he had Super Bowl winner, MVP the year before, and then he became Super Bowl winner the year after his MVP season, which is phenomenal. But him, I believe it was he lived at home still for his rookie year.
Wow.
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Couple guys, him and another guy, Lindsey from the Broncos. They stayed in the basement. mom's domicile to help out with certain things. So yeah, you know what I mean? It's like I'm gonna be here.
Yeah.
But all in all, man, the NBA playoffs has been great to watch. It's interesting to have the fans because when they do really crazy moves and shit, or something
Yeah.
that they usually look to the fans to, they still do.
I still
So they're
think
like staring at these virtual boards. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, for me, my brain fast forward to, all right, so someone's gonna win the championship and just celebrate with their homies, I guess, on the court, and then fucking go in the back. So I mean, we'll see what it is. But it was interesting too because when Denver won yesterday, they showed them in the locker room, and it was still the same thing. Like everybody's spraying champagne and everyone's wilding out, and no social distancing. They're fucking, everybody's having fun and
right at that point they're like, fuck it. What's crazy though is now closer to the what's happening now is closer to the end to these finals, the semifinals. Only these teams that are in the semifinals, their families can now come. They have to, they come and they had a quarantine, but then they can have close family come to the games now.
Yeah,
they have to get tested ahead of time. So that's cool. It's like, hey, hey, you haven't seen your family. You made it this far, so your reward is you get to have some family members. Right, you get to have some family members come out or friends and family to come actually watch you play, Nick.
Because you got to think, I wonder how many people are actually left at the bubble. Like, I'm sure that there's still a ton because you need the people that run the place. But in terms of players, there's 4 teams left?
Yep, that's it.
And how many did they start with?
Oh, shit. Because they had teams that they were playing games. They played the final 8 games.
Yeah.
To get the seeding right for going into the playoffs. Right. So that was like a total of shit. Man, there was
had to be at least like 16.
16. It was 8 or 9 on each side.
Yeah.
16 to 18, somewhere like that.
So you got to think how many people that is. Now they're down to only 4 teams. That place is probably getting lonely out there.
Right now, that's why they say now we can bring in your family members and loved ones to come watch the game because it's kind of dwindled down. But
because WrestleMania was super weird with no fans. Basketball, I think they're doing okay. It'll be, of course, different. But then to me, I'm like, what the fuck does the Super Bowl look like, dude?
Right. Yeah, which brings us to another one. So week 1 just happened in football.
Yep.
This week. So shout out to my boys. Yes, Pastry is a fan of 2 teams, nigga. Well, how can he be? Because I am. As a child, I wasn't a front runner nigga that just went with the winning team. I actually really enjoyed the sport, and I enjoyed it so much that it was 2 teams I really rooted for because of the players I liked. Bo Jackson, right? Bo Jackson. Silver and black as a kid. The pirate, the black, the image of the Raiders were really dope and appealing to me. You know what I'm saying? And Bo Jackson was phenomenal. So, Tim Brown, all those guys, that was like my, one of my first loves right there. You know what I mean? Oakland to LA, LA to Oakland, back to Oakland. Now they're in Vegas, the Las Vegas Raiders, which is still fucking weird to me. And then I got my other guys, all right? My blood, sweat, and tear guys. Why? Because Randall Cunningham was an inspirational nigga to me, and I really enjoyed watching him play, and especially him being a black quarterback like that, man, there wasn't many out there. Him, Warren Moon, Doug Williams, and forget from there. You know what I'm saying? Of course, there's a couple more. There's, but at that time, back then, early 90s, I wasn't the brother's position. So he was dope, and I really liked Reggie White too. He was it was phenomenal for them. You know what I mean? So right, and that's why I tell people when I say my teams, it's like, no, if I told somebody I was a Pittsburgh Steeler and a Dallas Cowboy fan, they'd be like, okay, the Cowboys are great. And they were like, when I was younger, they had the Super Bowl run in the mid-90s. You remember that shit? Yep. So for them people,
I remember because they won't shut the fuck up about it.
Right.
No, but they were an amazing team. They really were.
Right, they were. But it's like it's all over with. Guys, keep it moving. But
once again, how we talk about documentaries and time, and the 90s were not yesterday, brother. You know what I mean?
Right. It's 20-some years ago now. Yeah. Let's keep it real. It's a long time. It's a quarter of a lifetime right there. They're going to talk about it.
Exactly. When you put a quarter on it, come on.
Right. But, nah, those are my 2 boys right there, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I pick teams, and that's why I say when I have teams that like haven't won anything, like the Eagles made me very excited when they won. It's like I pick teams and people I like. I don't pick whoever's winning. You know what I'm saying? It's like when I tell motherfuckers I'm a Knicks fan, it's like ooh, sorry. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's like who you
Just
like?
gotta take
I like
that on the chin.
right. I like the Mets. Ooh, my entire team sucks. That's our acronym. Okay, I take that. You know what I mean? The Eagles before they won one, it's like, oh, y'all niggas ain't never get one.
Yep.
The Raiders like, oh, y'all niggas ain't been good since fucking 2000. You know what I mean? Like, you got that. It's when they're in the Super Bowl and shit with John Gruden. But, you know, so it's like, hey, I stick with my guns, and this is why I have the two teams. But week one happened, and I got to watch. This one came on TV, and this one I had on my app going. So I got to watch a little bit of both and shit.
Nice.
But it was interesting without the fans. Now interesting with football because some of them allowed fans at like I think 23% capacity or something like that. Or 30.
I didn't get the why some yes and some no, or
it depends
was it just
on the state
that they're
It was the state, which was crazy because Florida, who I thought was the epicenter at one point, they had fans in Jacksonville.
Hey, remember when this virus was going to go away because the summer and it's going to be hot and everything is going to burn up?
Oh my God. I just said this to my mother. She goes, I was just telling my mother that because, you know, she's, you know, we had these conversations. I said, Mom, listen, I was at the point where I was very alert on the point with it. You know, I understand I still can't, I'm keeping caution with it. But at this point, I'm starting to get pissed. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, it's almost like getting to that point. It's like, all right. So what is it? What is it? You know, like with that, what you just said, I told her, I said, Mom, remember when they said, oh, it doesn't do well in the heat and hot environments. And, you know, they said this shit. She goes, oh, I think they said it could. I said, no, they told us this shit.
Yeah, we're looking forward to the summer because blank.
Right. Yeah. And this is why people in Texas and everywhere in those states were like, well, fuck it, we ain't got nothing to worry about then. You're talking about the hot. It's hot as fuck out here. So
exactly. Yeah, you don't really get much hotter than Florida, right?
Right. So then Florida's got the biggest. You know, and I'm just like, come on, man. Is it or is it not? It's so much misinformation that it turns into bullshit to me. But anyways, back to football. Doing what the shit is. They I think Kansas City had the opener against Houston in Kansas City. So Kansas City, Missouri is another one who allows fans.
Maybe not anymore. They turned on them.
Yeah, that was that's pretty fucked up. But they said they said the crowd was split though. They didn't say it was a majority, but there was a good amount of booers.
You know what fucked with me is I read an article where they're like, now some people say they were booing and other people say they were just yelling Chiefs. And I'm like, Mark, have you ever lied in your life? Because what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? It's just.
Eves.
I was like, and it wasn't, and nobody just goes, Chiefs. Like, nobody does that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. During their solidarity, it's like, it's like, come on, man.
Nah.
You know, and it was like, you know, a lot of teams chose to lock arms. Some knelt, some locked, some put their hands. But everything that any team decided to do, they did it as together in unity. You know what I mean? Which is dope. You know what I mean? A couple teams decided to just stay in. You know, like, you know, let's be honest, man. You know, when you start getting into the whole thing of that and how come teams not out there, you know, how many fucking guys are fucking walking to get a concession? How many people are walking to get a hot dog during the national anthem? Let's not pretend that every single person in that stadium is at a fucking standstill when the anthem's on. It's not happening. You know what I mean? There's somebody back there flipping hot dogs still. Somebody back there working, ringing people up with beers and shit. You know what I mean? I mean,
somebody's taking a shit. You know what I'm saying?
It's like you don't have a bunch of people at your house over to watch the game and to make everybody shut the fuck up and stand up when the anthem's on.
Exactly.
Come on, it's not realistic. You know what I mean?
Is it still a huge issue? And is that what people still think that they're doing? It's one of those. I don't even know if people know why they're mad. You know?
They don't know why they're mad, and it's just like, just take it as a normal thing. You know what I mean? And what's going to happen is if they were smart about it, which is fucked up in the same sense, but if they were smart, if you just accepted and ran with it, it's going to fade as being part of something that's being noticeable to the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is funny when my man Shannon Sharp was saying it turns into, he goes, when the protests, he said protests make people uncomfortable. When they start becoming comfortable with your protesting, it takes away from a protest. Now it's just a demonstration. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, that's true. And he said in demonstrations, you orchestrate differently. You know what I'm saying? It's not as uncomfortable as a protest. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Now your demonstration is, now you're just out there making footwork and you're kind of keep going at it, like,
Yeah.
you think Peter rest? Like, Peter don't rest. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean?
Peter
Like,
don't
they're
sleep.
really, listen, they're still fucking getting the best paint money could buy to throw on furs. Like, you know what I mean? There's some of them that still do that. You know what I mean? They're still out there, the WWF Wildlife Federation, they fucking decided, who knows when we found out about them trying to go at it, but who knows how long behind the scenes they might have been trying to go at that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If they would have fucking gave up, they would have never won this shit, but they had to keep going.
Right.
You know what I mean? But initially it's the shock, and then now the shock is kind of starting to subdue. It has to be people that were now a part of that shock movement to be actually doing things.
Yeah. It's the
sitting at your local governments when they have town meetings, and you're sitting there and you're giving input and you're giving your questions and your suggestions. You know, I mean, a lot of people have anger, but they have no fucking answers. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You
Here on the Just Bake channel, we do things and say stuff, but the funny part is that in real life, you need to say stuff, then do things.
Right.
Thank you, guys.
That's my drop.
For real.
Right. So, and it's like, that's why now I go into is like, how many of you guys that were like really about like, we got to get out there front lines.
Yeah.
Mr. Let's take it to the highway. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, how long you willing to fight for that though? You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And that's the key. You know what I mean? If you're really about that movement, because you could support Peter one day and be like, yeah, you're out there with the fucking, you got all kinds of, things going on and fake furs and you're out wilding. Maybe you ride it for 3 months, but the fight still goes on, but you gave up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
well, I think too, part of it that fucks up people is when people start to agree with you, because then you got to stop being so mad, which also fucks with people's like ambition, because
right.
on the other side too,
anger
I don't
feel you.
Yeah. And then
Right.
when people are like, no, you're right. Yeah, let's change stuff. You can't necessarily keep that same anger. You might have to transfer that into different energy
Right.
and work at a different
I know,
pace.
because it's so funny because like you've seen it before. Like, you ever see somebody like fucking get angry at somebody and you're already fired up and you're angry because in your head you already have the reaction.
Yes.
And, you think it's gonna be fire with fire, and the nigga comes in totally not what you thought, and it kind of throws somebody off the pivot. Like,
all right,
I'm just angry.
Right.
Now I'm angry, and the nigga's not giving me the reaction that would justify my anger. You know what I'm saying? So he's kind of being submissive to my shit. So it makes you feel when you submit to a motherfucker's anger, he gonna fold.
Yeah.
More times than not, unless he's just. Then you run into somebody that might just have anger issues and just like, well, I can't get over it and I gotta fuck somebody up. You know what I'm saying? Like, those people are out there. They have, anger issues where they just like, I can't help it. I gotta hurt something.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, most part, somebody's puffing up and you just like, hey, you got that? You got that? You're right, man. I apologize, man. I was totally wrong for saying that shit. I don't know you like that. That's disrespectful of me to do that.
That happened during one of the basketball games. Some dude hit LeBron with the ball, and then
that
LeBron
was,
turned around. He was just like,
you know what that was?
That was my bad.
That's funny. You know who that guy was? That's Austin Rivers, the son of
Dak.
Dak, yeah. Get my son into the ball.
Come on! Oh my God! LeBron, my bad.
LeBron, you know my son. LeBron, you know my son don't even. Yeah. Right. Nah, he's funny. His son, man. His son, Austin Rivers. There was one game that he's at now.
Come on.
He's on the team he's on now, and he's playing against his dad as the coach. You know what I'm saying? And it was a funny moment though, because like his father was going off on the referee about something. He's barking, and his son was like kind of off camera, off to the side, signaling. He's like, "Yo, kick him out of here."
Oh shit!
He's cracking up. His son is fucking laughing his ass, goes, "Yo, ref, don't get him out of here, throw him out of here." But just to see that shit, like, this nigga Call him
Yo,
first
I want to
option.
watch a documentary on that dude because I bet you he has had an amazing life and some good ass stories to tell.
Oh,
Being
Doc
Doc
is
Rivers'
great,
son,
man.
like
Oh
being in the
yeah,
NBA like that.
that was a New York Knick, man. That's I
Yeah,
know Doc, man. He used to come through clutching. He's a good general. He just he was a good point guard, man. That was he did the
yep,
point guard role. He did it exactly to that point. You know what I mean? Draw traffic, make the right pass, come in, boom, kick out, get the people, get your scorers the ball. You know what I mean? He's gonna have more system points every game. That's your typical your point guard thing,
Mm,
But nowadays you got LeBron played point guard all year. He's 6'9".
yeah.
Because he was trying to be like
LeBron
Magic
also
Johnson.
coached. LeBron also
Right.
coached.
He coached. He fucking he was the water boy.
Yep.
The
LeBron was in
team
there
doctor.
taping up people's ankles and shit. No, guys, come on, we gonna win,
Come
we
on,
gonna win.
we're gonna tape this up. Hey, how you feeling over there? Yo, Big Zo, you good? Yo, he got a cough over there. Go in the bag over there, get some Benadryl.
LeBron's setting up ice baths for motherfucker. Like, yo, I set up the ice bath, dog. Go hop in there.
Yo, this one, yo, Kuzma, this one's for you. I know you like 3 bags. 3 bags of ice, right? This one's for you over here.
Walker, no, this one's big enough for 2 people. Come on, just hop in with me.
But
Let's
it's funny because he has such that realm about him where it's like he would get away with that shit, like because the nigga's nasty at what he does that you can't really talk shit if he starts doing some shit that we consider some punk ass shit.
Exactly,
like,
some Joe Boo shit.
That nigga got his friends over, he cooking for him and shit. Like, LeBron, you punk ass nigga, man. Like he's like, nigga, you know what LeBron do? It's like so you can't really say nothing. Like, yeah, LeBron that nigga, so can't say nothing. Can't say nothing.
True. Shout out to Doc Rivers. Shout out to LeBron. It's everything should be beautiful moving forward. I'm looking forward to talking about it and watching it.
But the NFL was it was one interesting thing I wanted to toss in there that because Jerry Jones, owner of the Cowboys, if you remember last year, he got a lot of shit because during all this, he said, listen,
he said
anybody that don't the way he said it to anybody that ain't out there with their hand on their helmet in one hand and their hand on their chest in the other and standing toes on the line will not be a part of this organization.
Yep.
Woof. If that wasn't a statement towards motherfuckers like, yo, you want to do that black pride shit? Not on my watch, nigga. That's exactly how that shit came off. But now he's changed up his tune. He had no choice. You know what I mean? He had to. It's like, all right, listen, man, I hope the fans will have some understanding of what this really is about, because it's not about the anthem. I really hope they have an understanding and they take, I let them choose what they want. And all that shit and all that, and the Dallas Cowboys had one black dude take a knee. One. So they were like, is that because, or maybe 1 or 2, I think it was, but it was like, are y'all scared of that dude? Like the boss man? Or is that just what y'all decide to do as a team? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's where it's sticky, because when you got that guy as a boss and that kind of happened, you wonder why. It's like, the nigga's
well, too, you have to remember, too, there are people that are just afraid. There also are people who feel however they feel about the situation, but choose not to express it there. You know what I mean? Like there's people
there's also people
when I come to work, this isn't my place to do that. I'll do it in my real life.
Are you kidding me? Do you know how many fucking black players there are that are probably fucking scared to say anything because they might not be in agreement with some of it or certain things, and they can't say nothing because they'll get, like you're not black, and I think that's what happened to Terry Crews. You know what I'm saying? Where
tell me, there's nobody in the NFL, there's nobody in the NBA that doesn't have a family member that's a cop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure there's somebody.
It's like they do have that, and some people are very pro-military. They're from a whole military family,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, to them, it's like, whoa, they were raised. It's conflicting almost. You know what I mean? Because to be, that Black American and know what that's like to be, what it was like, and what your grandfather and your father went through, and lineage of people and stories that were told and shit that was taught to you. You know what I'm saying? And now you take that part, and then you take what also was taught to you of love thy country and honor and discipline and hard work ethics of military type shit. You know what I'm saying? And then you have that, and you understand that sacrifice that you made to do some shit like that.
Yeah.
And now you're torn. You know what I'm saying? And that's it's a fucked up place to be. Like
no, it's tough.
The black cop. You know what I mean? Shit.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you do, man? All eyes on you, because they're like, you're on that side, man. Niggas look at you like, yo, help, man. do something.
For real. Because you got to think imagine all the people that just got in their first or second year in the league. And it's like,
Right.
well, oh my God, I just want to stay in line because I just came from whatever situation I just came from.
Right.
And I am now rich.
Yeah.
And
Jerry Jones
I'm
might
not
be
trying to
like, yo,
drop
cut him.
this. Yeah.
Guys trying to make a team that ain't getting $1 yet. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And you got an owner like Jerry Jones saying, you know, you might know, they might think that like,
yeah,
you know, if I kind of take a knee, that motherfucker might point me out.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, yo, I don't like him, cut him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's not that good, cut him, get him out of there. Because Jerry Jones is very controlling of his team. He doesn't have a GM. He's the GM.
Yeah, he just does it.
He does it all. You know what I'm saying? So he's all the way down on the sidelines. That shit, they said at one point that motherfucker was probably calling in plays. Al Davis,
sure.
speaking of the Raiders, my old boys, Al Davis used to be the owner of the Raiders. Rest in peace to him. His son now runs the Raiders, but Al was, you know, the slogan, just win, baby. You know, they said shit. They were like, yo, they said one of the players, I think it was Warren Sapp was saying, when he first got to Oakland, he said he was over there on the sideline, He said the phone rang. This Warren Sapp said, he said the phone rang on the sideline. And then he said he just got there. He didn't know. He said one of the players that been there, he goes, that was Al. We're about to go deep the next play. Watch. That was Al. We're going deep the next play.
What?
He said, sure enough, fucking snap, fucking bomb. Go deep because Al was all about going deep, speed, open up, big plays, go deep. You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker will call. Like people like owners like that. You know what I'm saying? Like probably never played a football day in his life. You know what I mean?
It's tough to wrap your head around because we couldn't even imagine this type of money. But imagine if you owned a football team, bro. I'm sure at some point you'd be like, man, these motherfuckers ain't doing this shit right, and I own this. Fuck you. Yo, run the fucking, you know.
Right, because you got to remember, you're owner and you're also fanatic. You know what I mean?
What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? Tell you no? No, they're not.
It's like if you think about it, your team is your money, but it's also your reputation. It's like my reputation's on the line. The bad team and bad coaches reflects me as bad owner and bad management. You know what I mean? It's gonna come up the ladder to me. Everybody's bad because I'm letting this shit happen. You know?
Think about playing a video game, but you're doing that shit in real life. You know what I'm saying? Think about playing Madden in real life, and you own the damn team, and you call in a play. Man, that's some different level of power. I respect it. Even if he's a nerd and he doesn't know anything, man, he hit a point where he's got.
And I say it to people, man. I said it's tough, and like you said that too, because it's tough to critique some shit that you never experienced. It's tough to critique like what it would be like because you could turn into a whole nother fucking person with money and power like that, man.
Yeah.
You know, and it could be subtle ways. You know what I mean? Like you subtly be an asshole at a certain point because you might not say it out loud, but in the back of your head, when you're dealing with these things, you already feel like, you know who the fuck I am? You know how much money I got? I'll fucking buy this whole place. You know what I mean? Type shit when you're dealing with people or like being like, you know, arrogant in restaurants or some shit. You know what I'm saying? It's now you get this entitlement. And I feel like people do it. You know, I might have done it if I had some better sneakers than a motherfucker that was talking shit. Try to play me. Look at my shit. Look at this shit. Look at my shit. Look at your shit though. Look at this fucking shit beat down. At least my shit is clean. I know they came out last year, but at least my shit is clean. Fuck you.
Oh shit.
Because it's brutal. But the NFL season's going down and no fans. Tom Brady took a loss. Eagles took a loss.
So the Washington W's.
They're a hell of a defense they got going right now. And sacked my boy Wentzy 8 times, nigga. 8. That's a hell of a day. Concussion protocol, nigga.
It's a beautiful thing. All right, let's knock out another episode of the Watermelon versus Pumpkin podcast. Bronx, Staten, Queens, 203-594-6977. Let us know what you're feeling. Let us know how you doing.
How you doing? Doing it well. Yo, I represent. He was rating. I don't know what the hell's going on. Shout out to the birds down on my porch thugging. I got starlings that fight for the peanuts, blue jays, starlings, sparrows, squirrels. They just, bro, I throw my little nuts out. I leave a little stash out. More recently now I come out and now I can look out my window and they're fucking all over the place. I'm like, oh, these niggas wait for me to come inside. And now the blue jay comes out with his big ass thug self. and I also get a whatchamacallit that's brave as fuck, nigga. I try to get footage. I got to try to sneak footage. When I sit on my bench right here on my porch, we got a bird feeder in a cage, like right above us, right above my head, where the porch hang is. And, you know, for a while, the brick was sitting here. No birds ever touched it. And I was like, well, I wonder why. She's like, well, you know, it's probably, there's no cover over there. They might be a little nervous. But then when I noticed that, they started seeing, I said, oh, something's over here eating it. Then we're sitting out there and the fucking shit flew right over my head. It's like, don't move. And it was like, oh, and then it goes right there. Fucking woodpecker, man. It's fucking getting busy. Dope one, man. I was like, oh, shit. Woody Wood, what up?
Woody.
Yeah, so we got peckers going on out here, nigga.
Peckers
Woodpeckers. Peckers and squirrels, man.